Hey friends, Sarah here. Welcome back to another LEGO City update. And this is actually sort of part 2 of the last city update that I put out for you, mixed in with a new LEGO City update. Since the other one was going on way too long, I want to kind of end it and revisit it in this LEGO City update. We're hoping to do them more frequently as we continue to work on this little city behind me. We also have some exciting plans coming up in the future, which include live streaming city work as we're doing it. So you guys can ask questions, talk about city building, etc. So if you think you like that idea, leave a comment below. We're looking to maybe do every other Sunday mornings. Oh, look, we have a friend. We haven't escaped the cat yet. Where we actually have cameras in the city. Mr. Bins and Bricks O'Brien and I are actually working on the city. He could be lighting, I could be building, just tiling, anything like that, because as you guys know, little tasks in the city can take forever. We actually divide this video up into several things. The first thing is what we're currently working on right now and what we finished sort of since the last video. And definitely I'll link that last video the very end of this and in the description below, because that will give you a whole overview of the city. I'm not going to repeat that from the last video in this, so definitely take a look at that if you want to get a whole idea of sort of what's going on with the city. Okay, so this is how we're gonna do this, huh? All right, so then the second thing I wanna do is sort of show you where we're going from there with this table in the city. And third, I just wanna talk briefly about the plan with the third table. And as of this filming right now, in about 1 week, we should be able to get to IKEA to get a second one of these and put it actually where I am sitting now. And that will involve a whole new possibility of ideas and buildings and LEGO City stuff. Sad to say, I don't know if I can bring a train back at this point. I think I would still need more table space because a train just takes up so much room, and I love it, but I do have the track set up back there along that little city row where my custom modulars and miscellaneous modulars are. So we have a little bit of a train represented, but not a whole lot. So let's get started. I'm going to see what I can do about this cat. I'm gonna take the camera off the tripod and we're gonna go over to the city and take a look. All right guys, so let's start with some of the less interesting housekeeping stuff first. So as you can see, we actually did pop up the Cafe Corner Hotel here onto its own Mills plate, so it does match up now with the cinema next to it. And here is our Mills Roads. Now, it was pointed out to me that I do not have a curb here, and that is absolutely correct. I do not have a curb. So what I did, I haven't changed any of these yet, but what I did was make a shorter version here with a curb. So instead of using a 2x2 brick here, I have two plates stacked on top of each other. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like I have a ton of plates. I was able to make a full road, but I don't really have enough stuff left over to transfer the other one yet. So for now, we're gonna call it good that there's a curb and not a curb. I do need a whole bunch of 1x1 dark blue gray tiles. Now, of course, I could connect the roads with 1x2s where they meet up down there, but in true spirit of Mills, I don't want to be popping off tiles. So we're gonna make each one its own individual road so it can be switched around easily. And then, as you can see, that this car is perfect. This is the car size I was aiming for, just the small cars to accommodate from the modulars and some of the gift food purchases. And that's about it. I don't need a lot of vehicles in my city, so I went with, let's see, this much smaller type of Mills Road. If you want to make the regular size Mills Road, we definitely have videos on that. But this is just a little bit. This is just giving a hint of a road and a hint of a sidewalk. The only big deal here is that, see how this is red and this is tan? You can see just a bit of that. So it just depends on how you transfer over your Mills. When I first started the Mills transfer process, I was very strict on purchasing the plates that matched the original base plate color that came with the set. Now maybe I'd probably just go with gray. However, the Palace Cinema is very special inside with the red floor, very movie theater-like, so we did keep that. And as you can see, We have the tan for the Grand Emporium, and that's fine. Overall, it's fine. I was just trying to keep with sort of the original quality of the modular when I made it Mills. So here is the roads, very simple. To tile these took me pretty much all last evening. So if you these things are not done in a snap for sure. So even a little housekeeping task like these where there's not a lot of thought involved just takes time. So you gotta kind of dig in there and get it done. Great for watching a movie. And eventually we will switch over these as well. You can see that I have one left to make in the back there. We're actually running low on all of the 4x4 plates needed to make Mills. So I'm going to need to order those pretty quick here so that we can actually get, let's see, what are we still missing? We need to transfer over the El Cubo Art Cafe and the Boutique Hotel. We originally were not going to put those on Mills, and we were going to have two cities going, but just the idea of it and the amount of space we needed was becoming a little overwhelming. So we merged them into this one, but as you can see, there is a considerable height difference. And you'll notice when you're trying to move your modulars around in a city that the Mills is the way to go. Now right here, actually, let's stop for a moment. Let's stop and look at this corner garage. So I've seen a couple videos recently by Robin Hood Bricks and High Tea Toys. Both have very fun cities. And they have made some amazing improvements to the corner garage that don't actually include the garage part anymore. Ours is actually lit at the moment. And I was thinking I might like to try something too, because I actually have a Brothor set that would look pretty cool as an apartment. And I do have an extra garage sealed downstairs to where I could build the 2 layers here and add some height to the corner garage, add a Brothor apartment, and then potentially I would love to make a pizza shop down here, and then maybe a little ice cream stand inside here. I just don't use the functionality of the garage very well in my city, especially since I don't have any roads for that tow truck to move on. So I think it'd be a really cool build to do. So let me know what you guys think. I'd love to take a few of the modulars, second sets of course, and see if I can't transform them into fun buildings with a different purpose. All right, friends, so we are down at what is probably my favorite section of the city. As you can see, it is full of greenery. It is full of life. It's a little less dull than up there, which I hope won't be as dull as we move forward, but it is sort of crammed in there, so we'll have to see. But down here, we did make a couple changes. In the last video, the old fishing store was actually right here, and this was over there. I was going to have a green space next to the townhouse, but we've got some more plans in store for that area. So I actually moved it in the back, and I created some new rock work just to have the little stream end there. It's probably not as realistic as it could be, but it's better than nothing. I added some of my translucent blue tiles, and I added a bunch of flowers. So many flowers. I love flowers. I have tons of flowers. And I added this very fun medieval village set. This is a retired set. It's from the Castle line quite a while ago, but it is awesome. So let me pull it out and let me show you just a little bit more of what it looks like. It is sort of packed into one base plate. So as you can also see, I am working on some water base plates that are going to merge into the next table. We need a lot more colors here, but you can see there's a lot of rock work along, and that's what's really nice about Mills plates is you can create some great depth. Instead of building up onto a plate and having your water above the grass, you can build it down. So we have all of these that match up nicely with the building that it's next to. And then this one is our most developed water plate right here because this is where I had the most tiles. But that's essentially how we make water. We just sort of add some plates in the back, add some rock work with different kinds of slopes and cheese wedges, leave some openings for plants, and then I created some different levels of water with light azure blue, medium azure blue, or is it medium azure and dark azure, and then the regular blue. So I also know there is a dark blue that I would like to try as well, especially because the next table, which is still, I want to kind of keep it a little bit of a surprise, is going to be morphing into a lot more water. So I don't want to go too crazy with this water until I see how some of the other ideas that I have are going to look. That way I don't need to peel everything off of these base plates, which is a job. I actually had tiled this whole base plate with these translucent blue tiles and then had to untile it, and that took a long time and some sore fingers. All right, so let's continue on. So the really, really nice thing about mills is just the ability to move them around really easily and independently of each other, as long as you don't overlap the building onto the other one. That way they just slide in and out, and you can move them around, move them out very easily without taking things apart. As you can see, these do sort of correspond with each other nicely, so I wouldn't necessarily just be able to throw it into another part of the city without me redoing the landscaping. But it's really simple to pull this out, spin it around, take a look at it. This is the medieval marketplace, and this became extra popular after the blacksmith ideas set came out last February. So I was actually able to purchase this one used. New is very expensive, especially for sort of the basicness of the set, but it is by far one of my favorite retired sets. It came with a lot of these little pieces, including these cows, all of the marketplace materials, even the turkey, lots of minifigures, and then these two houses. And they actually open up like a dollhouse. Unfortunately, they are down on the plate right now, so I cannot do that. But I've just put them on jumper plates, so if I do want to move them around in the city, it's very easy to do so. And you'll see that I really played around with density here. These are on one base plate, and really they probably could be on two, but we don't have a ton of space in this city, so let's pack it in. So if we go all the way around, you'll see that over here, this will be up against the water, and right there you can see the jumper plate, so it's not pressed down onto those plates, which will make it much easier in the end if I need to reorganize. And then I actually played around a little bit more with the water wheel. The water wheel doesn't quite have a source. It has an underground source is what we're calling it. There is rockwork all around it. And then we have this awesome tree that came with it. And just a little more detailing. We have a chicken and a rooster as well. And there are some guards that we'll see a little bit later on that also came with the set. So there were quite a few minifigures, and I think it looks pretty darn awesome. Okay, actually these were also included as well. Okay, so this is the biggest change. We actually had Winnie the Pooh over here. And Winnie the Pooh is very cute, and I really like it a lot. However, I just felt like it was becoming more of a pain in the city than not to try to work it in. So I actually moved the blacksmith's house and sort of forge down here to the very end. I love this set. It is so beautiful, and I think it looks fantastic next to the tree house. But then I also remembered that I had this medieval marketplace made from the Castle 3-in-1 set that came out summer of 2021 by the Lego Artisan. So I thought, wow, you know what, considering I have this whole medieval marketplace idea going, let's work this in. And then it also gave us an extra half base plate, which the marketplace here was on its own 16 by 32, but then what I did was actually transfer it to a 32 by 32 so that we would, we would be able to add it to the city and use it. We have some space on the side here to use with it. So this is a cute little marketplace stand, and then I'm actually going to work in a small stable that is 16 by 32 on this piece. And I think that will be just a fantastic build next to it. And then the horses will have some place to go and hang out when they are not working in the city. So that is sort of the green space update for right now. So you can see how awesome Mills is for moving things around and working on different pieces. So we can put everything back together really quickly and take one last look at this area as a whole. I think it's so bright and green. I can't wait to add more to it, which actually is where our expansion is going to come in with the second table. So let's talk now about where the city is going. If you can't tell, I absolutely love being on my little rolly stool. It's absolutely fantastic. I love to roll around the city. This is actually a leaf for the table, so it actually won't be for building the city out on, unless I want to maybe put a hint of a train here. I could just add a 16 by 32 ballasted track here if we wanted to give a hint, but I don't think that it's as sturdy as the rest of the table for long-term use, and then I can actually pull it out if I need to build on it, because as the table fills up, I do have less and less building space. So here is where the city is moving in the direction that I want to have it go. These two blocks of buildings, all of these modulars, despite maybe moving themselves around a little bit into different buildings next to different buildings, these are all going to stay here. Now remember, I do have a spot right there by Assembly Square, and I have a very special modular build that I am going to add to it that I'm going to keep secret for now, but I think it will be very fun and give you an idea of where the city is going. Hopefully I get what I need in the mail very soon. Now, in terms of this area here, which is the most condensed at the moment, and I already told you that Mr. Bins and Bricks is building the alternate build of the garage called the pub. Where is that going to go? The goal is, once we get this new table, is actually to be able to move this green space down onto the next one. It will connect right there. We should be able to slide everything down. And what I would like to see here is actually another row of modulars facing in towards the street, including the alt build of the garage that we're working on. And we also have the alt build of the bookshop, the boutique, next on deck. We took apart the other alt build that we had made from the bookshop, which was a corner build in preparation for that. We do want to do the daily press alternate build of the police station as well. And so some of those modulars are going to face in this way, which will take all of the townhouses and have them face out this way in what would be this row here. And I would actually like to add some custom townhouses to this row and have just more townhouses. So the fishing store would actually probably move onto the other table as well. We did recently pick up a third bookshop set. And so what I really want to do is do a mirror build of the blue townhouse. So we have the steps going down the other side. And then I have a plan for the other half of the bookshop. We'll see how that pans out as I get to building it, but we do have a few little surprise type buildings that we want to put into the city. So that is where the future of the Lego City is in terms of growth, because as you can see, this table is already completely filled with base plates and almost no room for any additions. But I know that a third table, which would fit another 8 base plates long by 4 base plates wide, so 32 base plates, will make a fantastic addition to the city and give us a little bit more growth in the downtown area. And you know, as we need to grow, we can grow with more tables, but we do want to make sure that we work one table at a time and really put some effort into finishing it up. We also have a couple light kits coming that we want to work on as well and figure out a good lighting solution for the city that we'll share with you. So that is it, guys. That is it for the city update for now. So happy building, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next Lego City update.